Good morning, good evening, everybody, and all my best wishes to all of you. Sorry I was away from the circuit for a long time. I was not well. I'm back now and looking for this video for many of you who always waited for this in a long time. So let's get started without mincing words. So we're going to compare the GTS 4 Mini, and that's again is a rectangle, square design with the GTS 2, which is again pink petal, the design. And if you can see, GTS 4 is square shaped, and well as GTS 2 is more rectangular in shape. And we will try to understand the GTS 4 being lighter, how do they fare? So let's get started on this video. So now let's have a quick check in terms of the aesthetics of both the watches. GTS 4 and the GTS 2, right, both have the crown button, right? Now if I click the crown button and rotate, you can see no movement or action. The same thing in GTS 2. If I remove the crown button and move it, there is no action. So pretty similar in form factor for both of them. Now I'm going to hit the crown button for both, and let's see the design layout and the topology of how the navigation of app layouts are designed, right? So you could see the basic frontal layout is like pi, heart rate. We call it SpO2 in GTS 2, whereas blood oxygen is called in GTS 4. Again, there are more things that you could do in GTS 2 as compared to GTS 4. GTS 4 has more simple layout, simple texture in terms of, you can have workouts, workout history, and then you can also see the status of the workouts. Whereas in GTS 2, you have a lot more rather than getting into the refinements. You can see in GTS 4, right, you can have volume to max, it can tell you training load, so on and so forth, right? Now in GTS 2, if you see the design layout is pretty much more detailed. If you see there's stress, again you have stress in GTS 4, you have activity here in GTS 4 too, you've got music, you've got weather. So again, pretty much similar, bit of difficulties in terms of the layout designing, but I would say fairly simple in both of the watches. Core differences being how it is being presented in terms of the nomenclature. GTS 4 being more simple, workout focused, and GTS 2 has widgets, which we're going to talk about in a few seconds from now, right? And you can see at the same time, right, if you go down further down, right, you can see the settings in both of these watches. And now if you just see in terms of how the customization has happened, if you click in the widgets, you can see compass, you can see timer, barometer, countdown, and you can see at the same time, there is no widgets, which is there in GTS 4. Again, very minimalistic. It has an option called more, and then you can see music, alarm, calendar, bare minimum few things, right? However, one thing to note is in GTS 4 you have an app store, so you can see notify for maps, so which is a brilliant function because you can actually use it for navigation purposes, whereas in GTS 2 that app store integration is not baked into, which means unfortunately you cannot use the GTS 2 for navigation. If you further go down in GTS 4, you have further things to do, to-do list, Pomodoro timer, and so on and so forth. Now look at the AOD. Both of them has always on display on. GTS 2 again very polished, minimalist, and GTS 4 again putting both the form factors, right? GTS 4 more lighter as compared to GTS 2. GTS 2 rectangular in shape, GTS 4 square in shape, and a much more, both of them are not heavy at all. So if you are into workouts, go with GTS 4. If you're an all-rounder, prefer music, basic workout, and taking calls, go for GTS 2. That is the fair and simple comparison for GTS versus GTS. Bear in mind that GTS 4 has 120 plus workouts against GTS 2, which has 68 workouts. And if you like this video, please share and subscribe to this channel. Thank you.